Indeed, the unprecedented times of COVID-19 pandemic has been novel in its approach, not because only of the virus, but then many other things. I think countrymen, it was a difficult call. But then I think we all should applaud for ourselves first, because as an educators, we have done a fantastic job. So kudos to everybody sitting here, because it wouldn't have been possible if we were not united. So elaborating and taking inputs from such dignitaries here in this room, I would now like to invite our panelists for a discussion on impact of COVID on education. Our first panelist is Dr. Jagdish Gupta, Principal RA College, Panipat. Mr. Sanjay Chugh, Director Principal, Cambridge School. Mr. Namra Kishore, Founder and MD, LinkCube. And our moderator for the day is Mr. Vishal Sood.
Okay, most of the time we discuss COVID from the perspective of adoption of technology. So I think, I will encourage this panel to discuss COVID impact on education from the student and teacher behavior perspective. I think that will make for a unique conversation today, because we all understand that work from home, learning from home definitely is going to be part of the future, and a mixed model will be there. And I think enough discussions, most of the educationists here has been part of. So if today we can make it slightly different from the impact of, behavior of students, of teachers, focus, right? How much will it impact the quality of education delivered, right? If anyone can take it from there. Namr, if you would like to start.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Vishal. I hope everyone can hear me. Is the mic working?
Yes, it's working.
Okay, great. Well, technology has been, Vishal, the silver lining as an impact of, COVID. The schools were very abruptly closed last year, and I don't think anyone got a chance to prepare for anything. The way the entire education fraternity came together, not only in terms of what can be really done, but then the technology was so smoothly, and I would say so impactfully was adopted across the country. Well, I can still understand the metro cities where you still have people with infrastructure, schools are slightly better equipped, okay, but then this adoption really happened just not in the leading schools of metro cities, but everywhere. And what I really saw was that children created some of those projects which probably would have been very difficult for them to create offline. They were completely done online. I think someone did mention that even the grandparents really learned and how to help the children take their classes. Technology is inevitable. Technology is the future. And I think COVID just helped us really adopt that technology faster than probably we would have done it across the country.
Sanjay Chugh ji, what will be the impact on learning quality if we talk from that perspective?
Around 32 crores students, learners have been stopped to come in the school and colleges or technical institutions. The outcome has mixed. Where there is a flower, there is a thorn.
बिल्कुल सर.
अब जब स्कूल खुल गए हैं, मैंने देखा है, मैं काफ़ी स्कूल्स में विजिट किया है, तो देखा है मेरे कुलीग बात कर रहे थे रिगार्डिंग लीडिंग स्कूल्स की, एंड आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द रूरल एरिया, क्योंकि भारत गांव में बसता है, हमें गांवों को छोड़ना नहीं है. सो आई हैव सीन कि वहाँ पर बच्चे क्या है, हमने ठीक है हमारे टीचर्स ने मैं टीचर्स के वर्क को अप्रिशिएट करता हूँ, एंड टीचर्स ने बहुत अच्छा काम किया है, घर में रह करके बच्चों को पढ़ाया है, स्कूल में आकर के बच्चों को. बट बच्चे क्या है, गांव के बच्चे स्पेशली खाली होकर के आते हैं. बच्चे अब स्कूल आने शुरू हुए, हरियाणा में जैसे 1 मार्च से स्कूल स्टार्ट हुए, कुछ स्कूलों ने अभी एग्जाम शुरू किए हैं, तो देखा है कि बच्चे, मैं कल एक विजिट पे था वहाँ पे, तो एग्जाम बच्चे नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. सो यहाँ पर थोड़ा सा हमारे बच्चों को, ठीक है टेक्नोलॉजी में काफ़ी बच्चों ने सीखा है, आवर टीचर्स हैव मेड मैनी एफर्ट्स टू एजुकेट देम, बट गाँवों की पोजीशन से थोड़ा सा मैं इस बात में डिफर भी करूँगा कि लीडिंग स्कूल्स के पास फैसिलिटीज़ है, या तो हमारे गांव के स्कूल्स के पास उतनी फैसिलिटीज नहीं है, बट हमारे टीचर्स ने वंडरफुल जो जॉब क्रिएट की है। हमारे स्टूडेंट्स जो आज लास्ट ईयर की जो एजुकेशन थी, जो आज की एजुकेशन है, स्पेशली आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द टाउन्स एंड लिटिल सिटीज, वहाँ पर बच्चे थोड़ा सा बैक पर आ गए हैं, बट हमारे टीचर्स अब एफर्ट्स कर रहे हैं और आई एम होपिंग कि अप्रैल मई तक वो बच्चे भी वहाँ उस लीडिंग स्कूल्स तक आ जाएंगे और हमारे टीचर्स जो अप्रिशिएट कर रहे हैं वो इस काम को और बखूबी इन दिनों निभाएंगे, तो जिससे क्या है कि वो काफ़ी अच्छा इम्पैक्ट इसका जाएगा। कोविड के अंदर बच्चों ने टेक्नोलॉजी में एडवांसमेंट लेकर के काफ़ी हद तक एक्टिविटीज़ को परफॉर्म किया। आई हैव सीन ऑल द एक्टिविटीज़।
Right, sir. You have been leading prominent schools. So, Dr. Jagdish Gupta, so what are your views, on the impact of COVID in the direction that we want to steer this conversation?
गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन। देखिए, जहाँ तक कोविड-19 की बात है, ये एक ऐसा समय पेंडेमिक का 1 साल का हमारा गुजरा है जिसके लिए ना तो कभी हमने सोचा था और ना हम उसके लिए तैयार थे, पर सभी एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस थे, चाहे वो स्कूल्स थे, चाहे वो कॉलेजेस थे, अपनी ओर से जो बेस्ट बन पाया वो किया। सभी टीचिंग फैकल्टी को, टीचर्स को मैं सैल्यूट करना चाहूँगा कि उन्होंने बहुत ही एक्सीलेंट जो है अपनी परफॉर्मेंस दी है, अपना वर्क परफॉर्म किया है। मेरा अपना मानना है कि पेंडेमिक के टाइम में बच्चों ने सबसे ज़्यादा जो मिस किया है वो को करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज़ को।
Absolutely.
पढ़ने में तो नो डाउट कि वो उन्होंने ऑनलाइन भी काफ़ी कुछ कंटेंट जो है वो कवर कर लिया, पर को करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज़ जो एक एजुकेशन का मेजर पार्ट था वो स्कूल्स में, कॉलेजेस में परफॉर्म नहीं हो पाया, ना वो स्टेज पे परफॉर्म कर पाए, ना वो ग्राउंड में प्ले कर पाए, तो वो एक बहुत बड़ा मैं कहूँगा कि चैलेंज था। हालांकि मन से मैंने देखा है कि जो बच्चे थे वो सोशल सर्विस के लिए बहुत आगे आए। मैं पानीपत से बिलोंग करता हूँ, 1 सेकेंड लूँगा। पानीपत में क्योंकि माइग्रेंट लेबर बहुत थी, अप्रैल मई के महीने में जब कोई भी ऐसी सिचुएशन आती है, हर आदमी कहता है कि मुझे अपने घर जाना है, तो हज़ारों लेबर, लगभग मैं कहूँ कि अपने कॉलेज की मैं बात करूँ तो लगभग 4000 5000 जो लेबर थी उसको हर रोज़ हम 100 बसें, 150 बसें गवर्नमेंट से मंगवा करके वहाँ से हम उनको भेजते थे। तो कॉलेज के बच्चों ने जिस तरीके से वहाँ पर फूड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन किया, जिस तरीके से सैनिटाइजेशन डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किया, सैनिटाइज किया और मास्क डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किए, वाकई ही बहुत मैं कहूँगा काबिल तारीफ़ है। तो पेरेंट्स का इसमें बहुत बड़ा सपोर्ट है, ऐसे डर के समय में भी उन्होंने सहयोग दिया है। तो निश्चित तौर पर सभी टीचर्स को मैं कहूँगा कि बहुत ही वो बधाई के पात्र हैं कि उन्होंने, चाहे पढ़ाने का समय था, चाहे कोई एक्स्ट्रा एक्टिविटीज़ का समय था, उसमें बच्चों के साथ मिल करके सोसाइटी को जो मैक्सिमम कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकते थे प्रयास किया है।
Absolutely. I think that point, hits the nail, that we as a nation, we feel for each other and we can survive together, we can thrive together. So that was one learning that came out. And I think for me, one lesson was very counterintuitive. Everyone is talking that technology can help deliver education. But what I realized, that it also proved that teacher is irreplaceable.
Absolutely.
The face-to-face time with the teacher is irreplaceable. Definitely the learning outcomes are not up to that level. So technology can never replace a teacher, right? So classroom impact will always be there. The learning doesn't only happen with the teacher to student. Peer learning is equally important. How we behave with our fellow students, sitting in canteen, even, facing some embarrassments in the classroom. So that makes us a better person, a stronger person. So I think these are some of the learnings that I felt came out of, other day I was telling someone as a joke that, unless you don't get a refusal face to face, getting an online refusal is nothing. It does not build character. You like or dislike something.
You're absolutely right,
Right.
Vishal. So I don't think that technology would ever replace human beings, okay? Here I'm just not talking about, the teachers, but then there has been always a discussion, is robots going to replace the human beings? Technology is an enabler, Vishal, okay?
Absolutely.
And that would always remain. A small example I want to take. So my children are studying in Shimnada School, Noida, and my wife teaches there too. So they had recruited a vice principal from, Australia a few years back. So in 2019, he introduced iPad-based learning in grades 6, 7, and 8. Okay, considering that Noida largely you got parents who come from affluent class or from the corporate India. Okay, still there was a hue and cry. लोगों ने बड़ा क्या कहते हैं तमाशा किया कि ये किताबों को रिप्लेस किया जा रहा है, ये iPad से लर्निंग कैसे होगी, ठीक है, all those things. And almost 50% of the parents actually chose not to subscribe for. School went ahead, स्कूल ने कहा कि जो बच्चे नहीं सब्सक्राइब कर रहे हैं उनको हम iPad देंगे, वो iPad क्लास के बाद स्कूल छोड़ के जाएंगे, जो सब्सक्राइब कर रहे हैं वो अपने घर लेके जाएंगे. द रियलिटी ये है कि उसी एकेडमिक ईयर के अंदर कोविड हुआ, ठीक है, मार्च के अंदर, ओके, एंड एवरी सिंगल पेरेंट हु डिड नॉट ऑप्ट फॉर iPad, they approached the school कि can we have an iPad now, okay. So technology will never replace human beings, it's an enabler, and I think new education policy बहुत ही सही समय पर आई है, because if you will really see new education policy and जो हमारी learnings रही हैं from COVID, I think we are now largely geared up, for. I want to take one example. I completely agree with what Chuk Saab said कि the rural India has been impacted. I just got a chance to visit one of the rural India schools couple of weeks back. It's in Pali district of Rajasthan. The school is the Fab India school, जिनके हम कपड़े भी पहनते हैं. It's a social initiative of there. It's a completely rural India school. जब मैं वहाँ पर गया तो मुझे था कि actually in somewhere in a mind that I am visiting a rural India school. The reality is that the children over there had adopted technology so beautifully. We made a presentation on a LinkU, Vishal, to around 130 odd children, okay, in two groups, 6, 7, 8 and 9 to 12. Every single child was carrying a smartphone for that particular class. And I for a moment thought, really, if these children are probably put into maybe a better infrastructure or better, okay, you can't identify and say कि maybe they're just from rural India. So yes, rural India has got challenges of infra to some extent, but the good thing is that today the internet penetration has made things possible. It's all about here to really accept it. And I think our children somewhere, so degrees can be different.
I think COVID has ensured that, when things become from should to must, I think that is generally when most of the people adopt things. So that has happened with COVID.
Absolutely.
And, so you want to say something?
But the shutting down of schools and colleges as a decision of shifting traditional classrooms to technology or digital platform is not only increasing learning inequality among the children, but also using a large number of children out of school due to the digital divide. Other than learners, the absence of schools would have a long-lasting effect on the health and nutrition of the children.
Absolutely.
So actually it is not a long-term plan anyway of the government. So ultimately schools will open up. So I think that will, it is a standby arrangement, so it needs to be done. But then there are other couple of things that need to be considered while adopting. When during COVID what has happened is a lot of distractions has come into play. With the penetration of internet, with Jio in every hand, so you get so many GBs free of cost, I can't even imagine. So it is very easy, when you can binge watch How You Met Your Mother, so it's very difficult to get focused on your studies. So that kind of mental, I think I see it again as an opportunity to teach students be self-disciplined and self-focused. Right now what used to happen was that, teachers were there in the classroom and they taught them the value of being disciplined, sitting there for enough number of hours. Right? Now with not that being there, I think there is one opportunity for self-discovery. I would like to add this, very unique program that MMDU has created. At our university, in our labs, we have created this program, we call it MRI. Like through MRI, what you see is, your inside of your muscles and everything, whatever is wrong or right with you. So this is mind re-engineering initiative that we have started. We are sharing it with our, neighboring institutes also. So it helps students identify, what kind of personality they have, what are their needs in terms of career, their value system, where, whether they are focused or they are not focused, how they can improve their focus. So they know themselves better, so they make better decisions about themselves. So if you look at any top athlete across the globe or any top businessman, they are very self-aware that what I should eat, which muscle needs to be strengthened. So that way when students know that, I need to focus on these areas to achieve my, true potential. So I think this is one program that through technology and otherwise also for students as well as teachers could be hugely beneficial. But what I have discovered during my career is that one challenge that most of the people face is they know a lot of things, but they don't know themselves.
That's true.
I have a very, very old friend. He's so old, he's dead now, Aristotle. And he once said that self-awareness is the beginning of all wisdom. So I think, currently our education system and through technology can deliver this very important component, because it was missing because of our colonial legacy. We were too much into rote learning. This national education policy is considering that is the best part of this national education policy. And if something like that could be added, and edu leaders sitting over here take responsibility that we will make it an important program, and if somehow it could be evaluated, because in India if you don't get marks somehow it loses its interest, right?
One last point actually, Vishal, that what probably adoption of technology has done is that, let's face it, that India is such a large country. We also have to accept that there is the quality of education is not same everywhere, right? In a rural India, well, let's accept it. What's the quality of teachers over there? What's the quality of infrastructure over there? Okay. So today, the same child in a rural India who probably has got means to learn can learn from anywhere, from anyone in the world.
Yeah.
That's what probably the COVID has done, that, in our mind today, it's not that I have to only learn from my neighborhood school or neighborhood college. Okay, if I don't have a means to go out, okay, campuses can come to me through, through technology, and I can learn from them. So in a longer run, we will see that quality, reaching out quality education to the masses is going to be quite possible.
So basically the definition of finding, now earlier it was generally best in my neighborhood, now it is best. I think that is what, when someone looks for education, that is how students have started to think differently. Dr. Jagdish, you wanted to say something?
जहाँ तक टेक्नोलॉजी अडेप्शन की बात है, मेरा मानना ये है कि जो यंग ब्लड है या जो बच्चा है वो हमारे से जल्दी अडेप्ट कर लेता है उस चीज़ को। हम पेरेंट्स और टीचर्स से पहले बच्चा जो है, कोई भी फ़ोन अगर नया आता है तो हमें अगर 1 घंटा लगेगा तो बच्चा 15 मिनट में अडेप्ट कर लेता है।
Absolutely.
पॉजिटिव साइड की अगर मैं बात करूँ कि जिस तरीके से व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप टीचर्स और स्टूडेंट्स के बीच में बने या पेरेंट्स के बीच में बने, तो डेफिनेटली एक क्लोजनेस बच्चों के अंदर आई है। कई बार हमें पता नहीं चल पाता था कि कौन सा बच्चा किस बैकग्राउंड से बिलोंग करता है, क्या उसकी प्रॉब्लम है। रादर अपने स्कूल और कॉलेजेस की प्रॉब्लम के साथ साथ बच्चों ने अपनी पर्सनल प्रॉब्लम भी अपनी टीचर्स के साथ शेयर की है और उसको रिजॉल्व किया गया है। तो डेफिनेटली इसका एक प्लस पॉइंट मैं मान के चलूँगा। इसके साथ साथ आपने देखा होगा केवल एजुकेशन में ही नहीं, यूट्यूब पे बहुत से लोगों ने जो भी जिसमें कैपेबिलिटी थी, अपनी चीज़ें उस क्रिएटिविटी को यूट्यूब पे अपलोड करके लोगों ने उस टाइम को प्रॉपर्ली यूटिलाइज किया है। तो वो पहचान पाए हैं कि मेरे अंदर क्या एबिलिटी थी और उसको मैं कैसे दूसरों तक पहुंचा सकता हूं। तो मैं तो ये कहूँगा कि वी शुड बी थैंकफुल टू द डिजिटल इंडिया कि इस मूवमेंट ने डेफिनेटली हर एक को अवेयर कर दिया है कि ऐसी जो टफ सिचुएशन है उसको हम कैसे टैकल करें।
Absolutely. I think we can take couple of points and views, need not to be questions only, views from people in the audience also, because everyone here is an edu leader and understands education. So if anyone has any view, more than welcome. Yeah, ma'am.
Nothing but just touches that do I need to stand up or can
No, you can sit, ma'am.
so like they say that every
You can have a mic also.
What I want to say is, like, every adversity carries within it a seed of opportunity. So the seed of opportunity that this pandemic brought for us was that all became techno savvy. We became small, nice, connected groups. Then also, like one of the gentlemen here was saying that co-curricular activities suffered, but I beg to disagree there, because we did a lot of co-curricular activities, and this gave an opportunity to our children to connect to the children from not just the local area and participate. It was international competitions and all children were participating in. And teachers also upped their game. So it was a mixed bag. We learnt a lot, we connected, but yes, when we saw the children when they came back to school, they were so much happy because the personal connect that was missing.
Absolutely.
Technology will not replace teachers, but yes, technology, the teachers who do not use technology will be replaced by people who use technology. So that's what I would say. That's my take. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my
Thank
views.
you. It's wonderful, that extracurricular activities during, that's a very good initiative. Yeah, sir.
In the form of Zoom meeting.
Yeah, I think this COVID taught teachers, means I think within 7 days or within 10 days, all the teachers learn technology, uses Google Meet or Zoom or other platform to teach the students, and I think within a day or two, all the students learn how to use technology, how to use such kinds of technology for video conferencing and others. The next thing which I want to mention is the bonding with students and teachers as well as parents were increased during this COVID because teachers directly contacting parents and students also. So bonding was increased. Implement of activities or other things, I can say we increased the number of activities. We were able to increase, we are celebrating Father's Day, Mother's Day, and there are lots of celebrations which was not possible during school days in regular classes, was celebrated using technology. Online celebrations was done. Parents' involvement was increased. They were directly participating in all the activities. They are eager to wait that, okay, when my chance will come to perform along with the students. So technology not taught only teachers, students, but parents also.
Absolutely.
That is my views. Thank you.
In fact, I think it will accelerate the adoption of the goals set in the new national education policy. So value-based education, vernacular learning at the initial stages is very, very critical. Because, again, as I said, because of our colonial legacy, we thought that speaking good English is the, only way moving forward, and that is the only way. And now, students don't understand that much. I still remember this very vividly. My elder son, he was around 18 or 19 months when he started speaking. And we were at this child hospital, and there was these parents and who was speaking to, their kid in, English. And my wife got a bit conscious about it and she started speaking English. So I told her, let it be. So basically, this current national education policy identifies that, language should not be the barrier of, it might sound a bit ironic that I'm communicating in English exclusively right now, but the point is that learning happens best in your mother language.
Moreover, it has opened gates of transmission involving methods of transmission of knowledge across the globe.
Absolutely.
And I want to quote here one quote: "You don't understand anything until you learn it more than one day."
Absolutely.
This quote is dedicated to all my teachers who have used diverse methods
Absolutely.
or alternate methods in this pandemic of COVID.
Absolutely, absolutely. So in fact, number, yeah, sir.
विशाल जी ने अपने बेटे का जो एग्जाम्पल दिया, हालांकि पर्सनल है, मैं एक अपनी बात करूं तो छोटे बेटे की मैं बात करूं तो 10th के बाद उसने 1 ईयर का ब्रेक लिया और उस 1 ईयर ब्रेक में उसने कहा कि पापा मैं अपनी मदर टंग में 9th और 10th के सभी सब्जेक्ट्स जो है मैं यूट्यूब पे डालूंगा टीच करने के लिए। और यू बिलीव पीयूष टेक के नाम से उसने चैनल शुरू करके आज उसके 12 करोड़ जो है व्यूअर्स हैं और 5 लाख सब्सक्राइबर्स हैं।
Wonderful.
इस ढंग से उसने कंसेप्ट क्लियर किए कि हमारे टीचर से जो हमने सीखा है बच्चों के लेवल पे जाके उसको कैसे टीच करें और उसको धीरे धीरे वो एज एन एंटरप्रेन्योर अपने उस प्रोजेक्ट को लेकर के आएगा। तो जस्ट 1 ईयर में उस बच्चे ने 10th के स्टूडेंट ने 9th एंड 10th क्लासेस को 12 करोड़ व्यूअर्स एंड 5 लाख सब्सक्राइबर्स, डेफिनेटली एक चीज अचीव की है जो बच्चे कर सकते हैं।
Absolutely. That's tremendous. I think big hand for that. That's tremendous.
लहरों से डरकर नौका पार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती और कुछ किए बिना कभी जय जयकार नहीं होती।
Wonderful, wonderful. So, now, in context of the technologies that are available, and I'm sure, most of the educationists would have gone through the national education. Yeah, ma'am, you wanted to say something. Yeah, sorry.
सभी को नमस्कार। मैं मैम की बात से बहुत अच्छी तरह से सहमत हूँ कि जैसे कोविड के दौरान मैं अपनी ही बात करती हूँ, मैं म्यूज़िक टीचर हूँ, तो मैंने खुद इतनी एक्टिविटीज़ करवाई लाइक डांस, लाइक सिंगिंग्स और बहुत सारी कैटेगरीज में फोक सॉन्ग्स, शब्द गायन, भजन गायन और हर तरह से। और इसके अलावा अपने बच्चों को इंटर स्कूल कंपटीशन जैसे ऑनलाइन होते रहे उसमें भी पार्टिसिपेट करवाया और बच्चों ने बहुत इंटरेस्ट लिया और बहुत सारे बच्चों के बहुत सारे प्राइजेस भी आए। तो आई थिंक ठीक है, कोविड के दौरान हम लोगों को मुश्किलें ये चीज़ें सहनी पड़ी, बच्चों को भी सहना पड़ा, बट फिर भी बच्चों ने बहुत इंटरेस्ट से इन चीज़ों को सीखा और बच्चों ने बहुत ज़्यादा इंटरेस्ट लिया. थैंक यू सो मच.
Congratulations, ma'am. I think you deserve the award, definitely. So, anyone in the audience, if you have views on, either COVID or national education policy in context, yeah.
No, I feel that this COVID was the harbinger of change. See, it was much needed change that was required, and it was waiting to happen.
Yeah.
We were all lax, we were sitting back, we were doing well, CC is there, new policies, then suddenly COVID came and we were shaken up. And we all had to change, we all had to innovate, we all had to think, we all had to plan, we all had to re-innovate. So that is all we all have done. And we learned with the children, we grew with the children, parents learned, and that small, every school was suddenly, it was we were all contained in our own small micro world. Suddenly it grew wide. Yeah. And we were looking beyond our little worlds, and we all connected. And the change has been excellent. It has changed us all, it has really improved us. It has, there are, of course, downsides of it, a little bit. I don't think we managed, like children missing their peer group, all those things. But as teachers, as education has immensely improved. It has gone from 1 steps to 20 steps ahead.
Absolutely.
In all ways.
Absolutely.
And I think that is the change which we should congratulate ourselves and our children and the parents. Parents have been a very, very important, they have played an excellent role. And if we talk about the rural areas also, there are times when you see that there also, like Sir was saying, you see that they're also trying. The teachers are trying. I was talking to a teacher from rural background. He says, he was showing me the kind of work that he's doing, and he's sending over and he's going to their homes and doing it for them.
Wonderful.
So it has helped, it has changed our perspective towards education, which is the beauty of, this present scenario. And I think, thank you, I think everybody will agree with me.
Thank you, ma'am. Wonderful, ma'am. I think these are very important thoughts. I think what Sir also said, and sometimes, we worry about that there are gaps. Let's accept it, and I think this is the time to cover those gaps, right? This is given, COVID has brought the best, I think, especially out of Indians. No writing, people helping each other, right? Being, economically a weaker country, in terms of per capita income, right? No one dying of hunger. I think we can congratulate ourselves. And in isolation, we have come together the best. I think we were isolated and we were still together. I think we can congratulate the entire nation on that. I think that deserves a big hand for everyone. So this is one moment, where I really felt pride that, as a nation, although there was, news channels and, media personalities, they talk about that, what is going wrong. But most of the things were going right. Bad news, as long as bad news is the news, it is good. When good news becomes a good, then it means that, bad things are happening almost all the time. So I think that way, I agree with ma'am, that people have really been, earlier we were, focused on ourselves too much, right? We sat down, we realized that, to build a great nation, we have to contribute, and we have to, and I hope these lessons stay with us. We don't forget these lessons.
Rise in blended learning,
Absolutely.
collaborative operations, and some learning management system to be new formed.
Absolutely. And lot of new startups in this time have come up, who are helping every aspect of education, starting from, student enrollment process till their learning, extracurricular activity, number, you are doing wonderful things through LinkCube in terms of celebrating creativity of kids, right? I'm glad, that was on the screen. And, so those kind of initiatives have really helped, colleges and schools to bring extracurricular, because rote learning will not, if we really calculate, this is my observation, I could be absolutely wrong, I've not done any formal analysis, but I feel that most of the people are not working on their true potential. That is the fact. Most of the people live with regret. Whoever I've spoken to so many times, being an educationist, I get a chance to meet, I've been on the both sides of the table. Being on the, my teammates, they call me, you're a half hitman and half monk. So, so basically being on the business side of things as CEO, being an educationist also, but I realized that if our education system take advantage of this national education policy, and it will require a lot of investments. One is willpower. It's very easy to maintain the status quo. It is our comfort zone. But if we can spend more time and effort on, taking advantage, especially this value-based self-discovery, kind of programs, and if anyone can share over here, if their institutes are doing something apart from academic excellence, personal excellence, if something is happening, we would like to know more about that experience, or from you, sir.
देखिए, जहाँ तक मैं अदर साइड ऑफ द कॉइन की बात करें टेक्नोलॉजी की, स्टूडेंट्स ने पहले हम मोबाइल जो है एक लिमिटेड उसको एक्सेस होती थी टीनेजर्स को, अब जैसे एक्सेस हमने इजी कर दिया, तो डेफिनेटली जो क्लासेस का टाइम था, बहुत सारे बच्चे ऐसे भी हुए हैं कि उन्होंने जो सोशल साइट्स है या जो हमारा नेटफ्लिक्स वगैरह है उस पर टाइम जो है उन्होंने स्पेंड किया है। तो डेफिनेटली हम टीचर्स और पेरेंट्स की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ये भी बढ़ जाती है कि अगर कोई ट्रैक से हट रहा है बच्चा तो उसके ऊपर भी चेक्स करें।
सर अब ये तो हमेशा रहेगा, तो आई थिंक दैट इज वाई बच्चे को सेल्फ डिसिप्लिन, सेल्फ फोकस सिखाना आज के डेट में बहुत क्रिटिकल हो गया, राइट? इवन इन द वर्क प्लेस पीपल आर गोना गेट फायर्ड, क्योंकि मोबाइल तो उनकी जेब में होगा, बड़ा इजी है कि आप काम करने की बजाय खोल के यूट्यूब पे कुछ देखना शुरू कर दो। सो आई थिंक दिस इज द टाइम वी स्टार्ट teaching people that if they want to have an accomplished and happy life, they have self-analysis is very critical.
वो न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में है।
Yeah, absolutely.
The entire impact of this is much bigger than even we are talking at this particular moment. Look into the vision. I've spent, before starting LinkU, almost close to 15 years understanding the talent market nationally and globally. Okay, work with global organizations, work with Times of India, managing their entire business on talent side. India, without being probably designated, we are the talent capital of the world. Okay, not because we have probably, I feel we have still not done wonders and the justice to the talent we have, but sheer demographic advantage makes us the talent capital of the world. Today, most Asian countries, European countries, they are all having aging population, they don't have people. So two things would really happen. One is that not all the industries from Europe would come to India, Sri Lanka and China. Okay, some would always remain there. So the talent from India would travel, migrate and work there, which is already happening. Some businesses would really come to India too. So that means we still need a good quality there. So the new education policy, what I probably like is is a first step. Is basically a guiding document, I call it, okay, to really formally help the country. Why should children only from large metros or bigger schools should get an opportunity to work for multinational companies or really go and work abroad? Okay, 10 years down the line, we probably may have maybe one passport for at least for 10-50, just like European countries. Okay, the reason is that those countries will have so much need for Indian talent. There can be one passport and you can work maybe some 25 countries. Okay, that's the kind of a system would require, because the world would require it. The question is that, are we getting ready? Okay, and can we really ensure that even in the remotest of the location, the children with the abilities, children with the aspirations have a chance to be part of this ecosystem that is getting built?
Absolutely, absolutely.
दूसरा एस्पेक्ट ये कि स्टूडेंट्स हमारे पैसिव लर्नर्स हो गए।
जब आप पढ़ते तब एक्टिव लर्निंग थी, कैसे थी सर? Because so many times people romanticize the past, and actually education has evolved. This is my being an educationist. So आज की डेट में हम कह रहे हैं कि भाई आज लोग पैसिव हो गए हैं और पहले बहुत एक्टिव थे। मैं ये जानना चाहता हूँ सर विद एम्पेरिकल एविडेंस।
देखिए, when I was in 6th class, मैं गवर्नमेंट स्कूल में पढ़ता था, कैथल गया।
मैं भी सर।
ठीक है, 6th क्लास में एक्टिव लर्निंग थी तो मैंने लंदन में जाकर के भारत का झंडा फहराया।
सर दैट इज अ पर्सनल अचीवमेंट। व्हाट वाज द एक्टिव लर्निंग?
और जो स्पोर्ट्स टूर्नामेंट में एक्टिव लर्निंग या स्टूडेंट्स की एक्टिव, अब देखिए मेरा बेटा ही, मैं किसी और के बच्चे की बात नहीं करता, मेरा बेटा है जो एक रूम में बंद होकर के बैठ गया है और दिल्ली से उसकी क्लास चल रही है। ठीक है, पैसिव लर्निंग में वो पूछने में, मतलब कि जैसे क्लास में 40 बच्चे बैठे हैं, रेज योर हैंड्स, तो पूछने में वो हिचकिचाता है कि कहीं दूसरे बच्चे मेरे से, तो जब क्लास में वो आएगा एक्टिव लर्निंग रहेगी। आप मैंने काफी स्कूल्स में जाकर के इस समय देखा है जो आफ्टर कोविड जाकर के देखा है, उनका एग्जामिनेशन सिस्टम को भी देखा है, बट वहां पर रिजल्ट ये निकल करके आया है बच्चे उतने एक्टिवली पार्टिसिपेट नहीं कर रहे जितना उन्हें करना चाहिए.
That is true. But my personal view is that things are improving for better. Progress is never smooth. You know, we don't give enough credit to current generation, right? We tell them, we label them, कि तुम serious नहीं हो, तुम पढ़ना नहीं चाहते, तुम कर, and they are, you know, breaking all the records. You know, they are making as, you know, एक आप सर के बेटे का example ले लीजिए. You know, I think sir you would not have imagined even something like that. Yeah. That was the kind of learning we had. हमें बोला था भाई ये पढ़ लो, IIT IIM चले जाओ, right? और you know हम लोग वही करते रह गए. Even you know now I went for my reunion to IIM Ahmedabad, you know, in 2015, and I met some of the current students over there. Their learning, way of learning has changed in last 10 years. It's an island of excellence. You know, they're very proactive, but they knew a lot more than we knew. So education is improving. National education policy is an example of that, and I think we should give, this is my personal view, that we should give enough credit to current set of students. You know, the kind of initiatives, the kind of opportunities given to every kid, a chance to come to the stage, address everyone. In my entire life, I am telling you, in my college, in my school, even in IIM Ahmedabad, I never went on stage, not for a single time. I was scared. You know, and जिसको खुद करना है वो कर ले. Like people like you know, who were able to differentiate themselves. I think now we need a system which does not only, you know, give chances to people who are taking initiatives or who are talent, who have some special skills. You know, it should be more mass based. So everyone should be encouraged to explore their potential.
In fact, very interesting article was there, Vishal, couple of months back. I think sometime September, October, you know, or probably when the results were announced, you know, last year CBSE. So this article was, I think, in Times of India, which was covering ki all those students who probably have been the top 10 students of CBSE, ICSE, where are they, what are they really doing? Okay, of course, they are the, you know, academically quite committed children, so they all are doing pretty well. But then there was a parallel comparison. It's not necessary that academic excellence would only make you successful. The most successful people are those who were your backbenchers actually. They are the ones who's created the maximum jobs. They are because they failed. No one wanted to hire them. They said, okay, fine, let me start something on my own. Okay. So I think what I really like about the new education policy is this framework. That we have to somewhere stop chasing percentages and marks. Okay, हमें काबिलियत develop करनी है. We have to make children capable of performing. It's like a driving license that only gives you a title to drive the car. On the road, how would you really perform in any situation? Is your experience, is your guts, many other things really come up. You know those things. So I think we've got quite a balanced education system largely. Academics has got its own importance because that gives us the knowledge. I think the skills and attitude, because I've spent 23, 24 years in corporate life. Success doesn't come only from knowledge. Success comes when knowledge is used with right skills and with the right attitude. When we are hiring, we do not actually hire anyone with knowledge and skills because they are of no use if the attitude is not right. मतलब आपके पास स्किल है, आपके पास नॉलेज, बट आप काम ही नहीं करना चाहते हो तो काम कैसे होगा? So actually today in a corporate life, people are not hired for knowledge because knowledge can be given. They are not hired for skills. Skills can also be imparted. They're largely hired for attitude. Of course, goes without saying that knowledge and skills has to really be there for them to get that particular job. And I think that's what probably COVID has taught us. It has changed the attitude, behaviors towards many things. Another biggest, opportunity which has emerged, and that's like for our educators, for French, for children in Canada, US, and Asia, our maths teachers. We have some brilliant maths teachers in this country. Now they are taking classes, for Asian students.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now that is only possible because of technology. Zoom से पहले आप सोचते रहते कि कैसे हम classes देंगे.
But I think it also shows that there are few things working very well in our education system, and one is a drive to excel. There is a lot of competition in our system, So, sometimes we get carried away and saying, how will you judge a student who is a class 10 student? How do you know he or she is good? Their core job is to deliver academically. If they're doing that core job well, now what we are talking is that scope of core job should be increased. The core should be not just doing academically well, to be fit, healthier people, to be respectful, right? To have right kind of values. And if we increase that core scope, we as Indians are very good at whatever becomes our core responsibility, excelling in that. So right now the core was only to get marks, right? So if we can change the core, if we can enhance it, that you have to be fit also, you have to be a life athlete, you have to be, respectful, you can't be, happy if you are a jealous kind of person, right? So if we bring those kind of things in our system, I think we can, build a great nation through great people.
Rather, मैं अगर बात करूँ तो न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में इन सभी पॉइंट्स को बहुत ब्यूटीफुली एड्रेस किया गया है। अब जो 9 to 12 के टाइम में 9 to 12 जो स्टूडेंट्स का टाइम है, जो इंटर्नशिप की बात की जा रही है, अभी तक हम ओनली मेडिकल इंजीनियरिंग को बेस्ट मानते हैं, पर प्लम्बिंग की जॉब, वेल्डिंग की जॉब, कारपेंटर की जॉब वो भी मायने रखती है, उसमें भी जिसका इंटरेस्ट है, तो डेफिनेटली इन चीज़ों को बहुत ब्यूटीफुली जो है एड्रेस किया गया है। और हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि अगर इसको जो प्लान हमारी है न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी अगर प्रॉपरली इसी फॉर्म में इंप्लीमेंट हो जाती है तो डेफिनेटली हमारे इंडिया की पिक्चर कुछ अलग होने वाली है।
Absolutely. So in fact, sir, basically, every role will require a certain IQ. It's a fluid intelligence is given. So अगर हर role को dignified कर दिया जाए, I think it will do a great job for people.
Definitely.
Right. So I think our ministers are also here, right? And we can take some closing questions and remarks, sir. If anything for closing. Yeah. Any questions? Any remarks so that we can close it? Yeah, sir, please.
As a edu leader, we only focus on education, giving best education to the students, like they are preparing for IIT and JEE or whatever, focusing on the academic part. But as I think, we should focus on 3 parts. First is academic, second is staff, their workshops and other things, and third one is placement. Now, once your students is prepared doing well in academics, okay, they should be placed somewhere. They should get placements. Then only institutions will work and our education system will work. New education policy is also focusing on the same. They have included application-based learning in that. So they can learn, they can use, and then they can apply in the industry. So this is my view about this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you.
So someone in the end, can someone pass the mic? So we have 5-6 minutes. We will take 2-3 questions, so no one will be missed.
Hello. Greetings, everybody.
Greetings.
I'm Gayatri from Little Angel School, Sonipat. And I was listening to the discussion, and I think what we need basically today is, see, all the students and everyone in all age groups, they have an access to the network, the social media accessibility and everything. But technology itself is a dangerous thing also. So that's where we educators, mentors and teachers step in. We need to guide them how to use it constructively to their benefit. Because it's like touching fire. How safe it is and how you can use it from a distance. And teaching is, of course, become very, very innovative. It's shifted from teacher-centric to student-centric. And we need to do that. So we were just holding the discussion and how we can reap the maximum benefits from it. It is just not chalk and duster anymore. And okay, academics, we were all able to take online classes quite efficiently. And many of us, many of the schools even took up the co-curricular activities. So it's shaping the new future It's evolving for the better. Education system is changing, it's evolving, and I think it is changing for the better.
Absolutely, ma'am. Let's have that positive mindset. Someone in the end wants to speak.
Warm greetings, everyone. Myself, Dr. Kritika from the Millennium School, Mohali. And over here, I would just like to share my viewpoint. I think when we talk about last year, 2020, it has been a great learning experience for each one of us, especially as educators. At the same time, I feel that the pandemic pause was a great opportunity as well to introspect and reflect that what are the real learning goals? What do we exactly mean by the term education? It's simply not of completing the coursework, rather just teaching and helping our students to learn the real life skills. Because I think that is the most important thing which we need to teach our children. Because that is the only thing. If you can see, the pandemic itself was the biggest example, how beautifully they have adapted. And that is only possible because of the real life skills which they have learned. So time has come to think, pause, and see. Let's start and be ready for unlearn and relearn, because that is what is required. If we are talking about the change, that change is required now. So let's not prepare our students anymore for any of the universities. Let's prepare them for universe. That's most important. Thank you so much.
Hosted by MMDU.
But sir, again, as an educator, I need to understand the real role also. We should focus on the real life skills.
Ma'am, actually now somehow, you know, university degrees are being associated with rote learning or a piece of paper.
Right.
Actually, it has given us a great world. Today, you know, the use of technology, you know, if you look at life that was 60 or 100 years back and what we have today, it is the lifestyles that we have is because of lot of university graduates. You know, the kind of research, the inventions, how they have improved the quality of life. So that is the balanced approach we have to take. You know, we have to have one foot in the past and one in the future. I think that is a more balanced approach. Take the best. You can't just destroy everything.
No, I didn't mean the literal meaning that let's not prepare them universities. I meant to say that yes, as educators, we need to understand that what are the learning goals. When we talk about active learning, then we must, you know, understand by the terminology we are using.
All the top universities, top institutes, you know, they focus on other areas. Even if I talk about, you are from Millennium, right?
Right.
Millennium also is not just focusing on, you know, how much of, you know, maths you know.
That's the beauty of our pedagogy, what we are implementing. That's why
I'm saying a lot of other institutes are doing an excellent job.
Exactly,
you know, and that is why so many people are here.
Yeah, that's why kudos to all the educators who all are sitting here. They all are doing great job, I think. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, ma'am, please.
Hello everyone.
Yeah.
This COVID-19 has taught us a big lesson that India that was considered a backward country. Why? Because of the certain things that were not given to the children when they were the school students. Now this particular time has given them an opportunity to work online. This work online has brought them at a global level, where they can communicate with their cousins or friends living abroad. That's the basic factor that India, the particular backward adjective that was there, now it will be removed and everything will be there. But we should not forget one thing, that the online classes that are being taken up by the teachers have also done the hard work to put the things together, to bring the things together, and moreover the parents have shown lots of interest in organizing various online activities. That's the main thing, that parents have come to know that students were not wasting their time in school activities. They are very useful, and teacher and students, both of them were communicating online. That's the main thing. And I would like to conclude on the ode to the west wind. If winter comes, can spring be far behind? If the COVID has come, if this particular thing has come, the things will improve themselves. But the time is here with the educationist. We are to inspire the younger ones.
Absolutely.
That is the thing. We are to inspire them. This COVID is nothing very serious. They are to go miles and miles away before they go to the destination.
Absolutely.
And
think on
I
this
congratulate the CAT for organizing this nice discussion. Good luck. God bless you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I think on this positive note, we can conclude this discussion. Ministers are here, so we will welcome them and we will listen to their thoughts. Ex and current education minister will be here, so let's see who is what ex-minister says about what current minister is doing. And I thank you all of you for being patient and listening to the thoughts. I thank all my panelists, Dr. Sanjay Kubnam, Kishore, Dr. Jagdish for giving such meaningful insights, and you elevated the level of discussion. If it would have been left to me, it would have been a lot of global discussion, but you made it